I'm from a small town, agricultural town in the north of Bihar on the border of Nepal called Forbisganj. It is one of the poorest districts of India where leprosy still exists, where there are still one or two cases of polio. And in the middle of that area, my NGO has been trying to work among a denotified criminal tribe to prevent intergenerational prostitution. We have a community center in the red light area in this small town, which also deals with trafficking between Nepal and India. That whole place is on top of a swamp and has about 72 mud huts, which used to be brothels. With huge efforts by my community mobilizers and team members of Apne Aap, we were able to get the children of the prostituted women in that community into a school that we ran for over a decade. And for the first time in that community in 150 years, we were able to break the cycle of intergenerational prostitution, where prostitution is passed down from mother to daughter, by making sure that these girls finish school and went to college. In their families, now there is no more prostitution. So, where there used to be 72 home based brothels, now there are just three or four home based brothels. We put the children into schools and we put the traffickers in jail, and the women and children were able to take over their homes and turn this entire stretch of what were home based brothels into homes for themselves. And today there are women who we help to open bank accounts and all of that, who have started orchestra companies and dance parties for weddings. And they have actually written on the door of their hut on the wall saying, अंदर आना मना है, please don't come inside. और यहाँ धंधा बंद है, यहाँ धंधा नहीं होता है, business is not conducted here. And they put up boards of the small businesses where they're making and selling spices or tea shops or even dance parties for weddings, etc. So the whole area has changed. Food supplies were cut off. The police was particularly brutal, and the children could not go to school because schools were closed. So we ran a food drive for that area called 1 million meals. And whenever we could, when in between the lockdowns, we would make sure that we had classes for the children of five children each. We were really, really vigilant, and so were the women and children of the red light area, like washing their hands, making sure they were wearing masks all the time, not stepping out of the small mud huts, studying when they could in batches of five, eating what they could. If we gave the food, they would stretch it out. If the food was there for 3 meals, they would stretch it out for like 20 meals. Many of the businesses in Forbisganj have continued to operate during COVID, basically to cater to very important, rich, and influential people who will not stop their businesses and who say that come and work. If you don't come, then I will not give you work next year, etc. What is even more surprising is that after the second wave of COVID, where people are dying like flies across the country, a BJP MLA in Forbisganj organized the wedding of his daughter with hundreds of guests, nobody wearing masks, as you can see from the video footage. It's a super spreader. So, my poor town is now going to be the victim of this COVID because somebody organized it's such a big crowd just for a wedding. It is highly irresponsible. And while the poor are, respecting the protocols, even at the cost of their own livelihood, the rich are so irresponsible. The powerful and the influential are so irresponsible. They are holding massive weddings. And this BJP MLA in Forbisganj is an example. So I'm really worried about how my NGO Apne Aap and our food drive, 1 million meals, will cope with this spread post the BJP MLA's wedding, the successes that we had made, the gains we had made in ending the red light area in Forbesganj could be reversed just because of this one massive wedding in the second wave of COVID in India by this BJP MLA.